else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? Click like Power Boys. Make you say wow boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Big game, first name James. He interviewed, he called the games. Silver blue, you know the name. From the Emmitt Smith to the Michael Irv. We beating skins, shooting birds. I see a bang, snatch it out his fur. Favorite team on the planet Earth. From Monday night to Sunday church. DJ putting in the work. I'm tuning in, no need to search. Through thick and thin and good and worse. Them Cowboys, click like Power Boys. Make you say wow boys. From the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the goddamn, they did it again. How about them Cowboys? Click like Power Boys. Make you say wow boys. From the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that silver and blue that did it again. Them Cowboys, click like Power Boys. Make you say wow boys. From the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the goddamn, they did it again. How about them Cowboys? Click like Power Boys. Make you say wow boys. From the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that silver and blue that did it again.
What's good, everybody? Let me get in here. Hold up. My thing is acting up. What's good, everybody? Woo. Big Game James in here in effect. Silver and Blue Nation. Big Game James. Just wanted to jump in here right quick. Talk about some more Cowboys guys. The 2019 draft in particular. Only one guy was not in the 2019 draft, and that was Devin Smith that I talked about. But the main reason why that I've been going over these guys is because they're important. We can't forget about the 2019 draft. Everybody's talking about the 2020 draft and who they're going to draft and who they're going to get, but people are forgetting they got a defensive end in Joe Jackson. They got a defensive tackle in Tristan Hill. They do have a safety in Donovan Wilson. They have a corner, Chris Westry. They have those players. Not saying that those players will come in and just be dynamic, but they are on the roster, and they picked them for a reason, and they can make an impact, especially with this new team. So let's not forget about them. And another player that we're going to talk about today, hope my stuff ain't acting up. Okay, there we go. Hope my stuff ain't acting up. Jalen Jelks. This has been my guy. When the Cowboys did their draft in 2017, hold on, let me give a shout out to everybody. I'm being rude to everybody. What up, Derek Clegg, Eastside Herald? What up with you, dog? How you been doing? 43 Flex, what's good with you? Yeah, they all sound like whatever. You just be talking because your Texans ain't ever won jack poo, so there ain't nothing for you to really even talk to me about. But hey, share this babe through the community if you could. I don't know if they be hating now because we got haters in the Facebook community over here, but there's haters everywhere you go. But like I said, you don't want to forget all these players that the Cowboys drafted in 2019, and one of the players that I want to go over and one of the players I've been talking about from A1 day one has been Jalen Jelks. I love the size. He was like a Jason Taylor clone to me. Can be a rush in, can be an outside linebacker. You saw what Jason Taylor was over at Miami. I'm not saying he's that guy because he didn't have that speed, because Jason Taylor had more speed in him. That's one of the reasons why probably Jalen Jelks dropped, and we'll talk about that right quick. But when you see the measurables for Jalen Jelks, it gets you excited, especially when you got him in the 7th round. You're thinking you got a lot of good value with the Jalen Jelks. Defensive end, linebacker, that's what he played at the University of Oregon. First 3 years was more so a defensive end, but then the last year they had him listed at linebacker, and he played a lot more rush in and outside linebacker in that scheme. Now, that scheme over there in Oregon was all over the place. They had him playing at the 1 tech. They had him at the 3. They had him at 5. They had him everywhere along the line. They had him standing up, but the good thing about it was that it helped him versatility-wise to get into the NFL draft. Things that really hurt him was the size when they had him at the defensive end position because he's going against big offensive tackles that are bigger than him, and then out at the end of the day, you have him out of outside linebacker. Didn't have the greatest speed in the combine. So those two things kind of hurt him, and that's probably what dropped him in the draft to the 7th round. If he would have ran a better time, I guarantee he wouldn't have went 7th round. But like I said, those are a lot of good things that you see with Jalen Jelks. That size, 6'5", 256 pounds. You love his size, and he has a great motor. Actually, when I went to training camp, he was one of the guys that since I've been on him day one, he was one of the guys I wanted to watch in camp. I interviewed him. I asked him not a stupid question, excuse me. That wasn't because that was for my Cowboys family with the ice cream. But I asked him a question about the ice cream. But I asked him also what he think about transition to linebacker. You know, he gave me the vanilla answer of, oh, yeah, I'll play wherever they want me to play. But that's not what I wanted to hear. So hopefully I wanted to get him, you know, away from everybody and ask him, you know, because I was really intrigued with him playing linebacker. Now, some things are going on in my head, and just kind of when they got this new defensive staff, right? When they got this new defensive staff, Mike Nolan, Tom Sula, your boy Scott, I can't remember his last name, the linebackers coach, and even Mike McCarthy. A lot of them play the 3-4. So the main thing a lot of people were asking, fans alike, media, is are they going to transition to the 3-4 defense, or are they going to play a 4-3? What are they going to do? Mike McCarthy clearly stated that they're going to be forward down linemen, but they're going to play a variety of packages and different. They're not going to give you one set look. So they'll be in a 3-4 look, they'll be in a 4-3, but their base is probably going to be the 4-3. They may be transitioning to the 3-4. Now, here's the thing that makes me say that reason why we can happen, and I'll finish with Jalen Jelks. When I looked on here at their positions, on the defensive line, they have, let me see here. On the defensive line, they have, let's see. This is what they're listed at on the defensive line for 2020. DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrone Crawford, Gerald McCoy, Tristan Hill, Dorrance Armstrong Jr., Justin Hamilton, Antoine Woods, Joe Jackson, and Dontaria Poe. Those are the defensive linemen that are listed on the team. Once again, DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrone Crawford, Gerald McCoy, Tristan Hill, Dorrance Armstrong Jr., Justin Hamilton, Antoine Woods, Joe Jackson, Dontaria Poe. But then when you go to the linebackers, and I'd already seen this earlier this year, particularly outside linebacker, here are the people that are listed at the outside linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys: Sean Lee, LVE, Justin March, Chris Covington, Jalen Jelks, Randy Gregory. Let me rewind that. Jalen Jelks, Randy Gregory. So that lends me to think some things. Number one, it may not happen this year with everything going with the COVID-19 and the virtual reality. But that's just very peculiar to me that you have Jalen Jelks strictly listed at the outside linebacker position and Randy Gregory. Look at both of their heights. Both of them are around 6'5", both of them are around 250 pounds. And if you are a team and you are both drafting those players, and that was the scouting report on Jalen Jelks, that he would be a ideal outside linebacker in a 3-4, a rush end on a 4-3, just like Randy Gregory. Leads me to think that they may be transitioning, maybe not this year, but it may be in the fold. And you already had 2 linebackers in. Not saying you're going to draft them early, but you are going to draft a linebacker in this draft, probably in the first few rounds. Now it looks like, because We know about the Cowboys bringing in players, and when they bring in the players, they're kind of pulling their card. We don't know with this new staff, but at the end of the day, you still did have two linebackers in, Bond and Murray, and I think you are going to draft a linebacker in this draft. So we're going to see. It's just peculiar where they're going to put a Jalen Jelks. Is he going to be a defensive end, or is he going to be more of an outside linebacker? I think he might be more of the backer, and that's been his position listed the last couple seasons. What up, David Jenkins? How you doing? Hey ho, Chris Woods with the 9.99. Holla. Appreciate you, big dog. But let's get to I want to get y'all to know a little bit of Jalen Jelks first. Then I'm going to show you a tape of one game in particular where he played at Oregon. The reason why I'm going to tell you when he played against Stanford, the reason why I'm going to show you that tape is because he was standing up playing rush outside linebacker, rush in. And that's what I think he may be transitioning to the NFL. The thing that killed him was his 40 time. So when we talk about what really hurt Jelks in the draft, why he probably dropped in the draft, is this right here. When Jalen Jelks had his combine, 4.92. Now, pretty good reps at the bench press at 19 reps, 32.5 on the vertical, pretty good. 113 on the broad, that's 7.22 cone, and not the greatest. Shuttle, okay. But that's what really hurt a Jalen Jelks more than anything else was that 4.92 in the 40. Let's keep it real. If you're playing an outside linebacker and you're playing another position, even if you're playing a defensive end, you can't come in with the 4.92. And that's what probably dropped him the way it did. I feel like my thing is lagging. It's probably like a thing like 10 seconds behind me, boo thing. Things like 10 seconds behind me. But that's what really dropped him, in my opinion. People were projecting him as a fifth or sixth rounder based on the production, 56 tackles, 57 tackles, I believe, his junior season. Had 13 and a half tackles, I believe, for loss. 7.5 sacks, I believe, his junior year. Then they had a more of a linebacker, had him playing all through the line. His stats dropped a little bit. He still had like about 53 tackles his senior season. His sacks dropped. He had 3.5 sacks. So that probably dropped him, but they had him playing all around the line. And like I said, he was overmatched against a lot of those offensive tackles because he just wasn't big enough. 256 pounds. You're really thinking that size at 6'5", 256. You're not playing a defensive end. Most teams like their defensive ends about 270 pounds because you have to be able to fight those big 300-pound tackles, 330, 325-pound tackles. You got to be able to fight it. If you're 256 pounds, you're not going to make it at a defensive end. And so that's why they probably moved him or thinking about moving him at the linebacker position, and they saw him playing it at Oregon at the end. But let's learn a little bit about Jalen Jelks. So if you haven't heard anything about Jalen Jelks, let's learn a little bit about Jalen Jelks. Let's watch a few things, and let's watch a little bit of tape that we saw. Wasn't a lot because he got put on injured reserve, so he's pretty much like a rookie. Didn't see any kind of time during his last season, so he's pretty much like a rookie again. But he was very active, had a sack against San Francisco, and had 4 tackles against the Texans. We're going to highlight a couple plays in the Texans that he got. Where he was playing. Actually, he was playing the left defensive end. Surprised me because the left defensive end is going to be more of holding the point of attack, stopping the run, things of that nature. I thought he'd be more on the right side, but they had Joe Jackson more on the right side of him holding the point of attack, and he did a pretty good job against the Texans because he came into the second half and got 4 tackles. So he was very active in his games in the preseason, and you were looking like, hey, the arrow's pointing up, and then guess what? Next thing you know, he's on injured reserve. I was worrying about somebody taking him, so I don't know if they put him on injured reserve, so couldn't nobody scoop him. I don't know. I think they have good plans because he is a long player, and I think Mike McCarthy and those guys like the long players. And even in the last regime, you know what they liked. Tall guys, 6'5", 6'6" with long arms, and he fit that build. But let's learn a little bit about Jalen Jelks before we go any further, and let's hear what they have to say about him.
Defensive end from Oregon.
Jalen Jelks doesn't get tired.
You know, I'm trying to work my butt off and push myself every day, so I can eventually just try to get in there and take my job.
He'll do whatever it takes to stay on the field, which is why he played both linebacker and on the defensive line during his 4 years at Oregon.
I tried to do my best wherever I could and just try to help my team succeed.
But nothing compares to never coming off the field on Friday nights back at Desert Vista High School.
It's probably still one of the most tiring things I've had to do compared to, anything I've had to do at Oregon for sure.
Jalen's motivation to push through comes from his parents because they never stop pushing him to succeed.
Between my mom staying at practice every day, sitting in the car sweating and stuff, this summer she's out there watching me run sprints and stuff. In high school, my dad, we went to Gold's Gym in Ahwatukee every day. Dad and mom coming to every game, flying out, taking time off work and stuff just to come see me play, even if my first couple years, I didn't even play much. They just wanted to, they were proud and just wanted to see the boy play.
Jalen will become the first person in his family to get an opportunity to play at a pro level. He'll also become one of the very few true artists in the NFL.
When I was little and stuff, I used to, grab sketchbooks and stuff and just start doodling and stuff and messing around. But when I was younger, I used to just pick up like comic books and stuff and, start going through that. And I just eventually just start drawing.
But his hobby also benefits him on the field.
Pay attention to little things, and it's the same way in the football world. Whether it's you trying to learn new plays or, just trying to stay in your right gaps or, stay tight to line of scrimmage and stuff like that, you got to pay attention to detail. And it kind of translates to both worlds. I'll sit this one out. D-line's everything. It does start up up front. If we don't get any pressure on the quarterback, if we're not holding up gaps,
I like this
defense
kid.
just kind of falls apart, so it definitely starts with us.
Came to Oregon because, I don't know, it just felt like a different experience up here. It just felt like family. It's been a great experience, and I'm glad I've been able to do this and been a part of this university.
Be able to miss him out there on the course, that's for sure.
Now watch how he does on this course. You see some athletic ability here. Watch this after he does his compound. I like this. He's got some athletic ability. Watch this right here.
Through without a penalty. Back with the sled. And now the sprint.
What up, Mike Brown?
He wants to show that he's as athletic as the smaller guy.
I want to meet Taco, Dak, Zeke, and everybody, all those guys.
I like he's humble. I think he's a guy that's really going to listen. He comes to work. I really love what you can do to this kid because I think he's versatile.
What has stood out about working with Rod Marinelli now?
Everything. He's a great coach. This morning we had a little discussion where we had to look up some old D linemen and stuff, and then he had some little heritage stuff on him. So it was great. He has a lot of knowledge, so I'm trying to learn everything he has.
I don't like the number. I hope he gets another number. I don't like 74 on him though. Get him a different number. I don't know. I just don't like that number. I don't know. I just don't like 74. Give him a better number. I think he's better than that. But anyway, that's a little bit of get to know about Jalen Jelks.
You know that securing your web application is critical.
And we're going to show a few little highlights of him as well that I really liked about Jalen Jelks. I think he's an active kid, and I think he has a lot to offer the Cowboys, especially with that size. And we're going to show a little bit. Going to show a few plays. See right here, wait for this to pull up. Here's a good play from him right quick. I'm going to highlight. You just seen him come off that edge right there. Did you see him just come off that edge right quick? Let's show it again to you right quick. Look at him come off that edge. He's the left outside end right there. I'm going to show it again because I liked it. I'm going to freeze it right quick. Looks like my thing caught up. All right, so you got Jelks here on that D end right here. See, there it goes. Acting up on me, babe. Let me pull it up again. What did it say? I am Sheepdog. I am here for the colorful Def Jam comment levels in the chat. I got you. He said, and she blocked me. They talking wild on here today, ain't y'all? Hey, y'all are wild on here today. But let me ask y'all something since y'all wild in the comments today. Y'all wild in the comments today. Y'all on 1,000 on the day. But I'm pulling that back up right quick. But I'm going to ask y'all right quick. What do y'all think about Jalen Jelks and his chances? What do you think about Jalen Jelks and his chances on the team? Do you like his chances on the squad? Do you think he can make an impact with the team? You got a whole new roster now. You got a whole new team out there. What do you think about Jalen Jelks? What's his chances? What's your thoughts on Jalen Jelks, and what are his chances in your opinion? .43 flex. Give me some answers, y'all. I think he will because that size. The thing that helps Jalen Jelks more than anything else is 6'5", 256 pounds. You get what I'm saying? I think that's what helped him. If he was a kid that was coming back and he was like 6'1" or 6'2" and they kept him on the practice squad, then no. But 6'5", 256, people are going to mess with you. I am Sheepdog. What you got to say? What's up, Tyrone? Says he got a chance. Stevie Mack thinks got a chance. LaDonna, how you doing? Thinks he should have a chance. I am Sheepdog 45 with actual good coaches. They can develop players. I say Jelks has a good chance. I feel you. Come on. Boothane says potential. Let me get this play over to you again right quick. I paused it right quick. And this is Jelks coming off the edge right quick. We got it frozen. He's coming down the edge, blowing this play up. Boom. Now, he takes a little bit of the hit, but he makes a play right here. That was a great play on that down that line. And the next play up, actually, he basically steps in on the outside on the offensive tackle, sneaks him, and then comes back around. Watch this play right here. And it's against your Houston motherfucking Texans. Well, we whipped your ass. I know it's preseason, but look at that score at Eastside Herald. I know it's only preseason, but we whipped your ass. Watch the little step in Jalen Jelks got. Look at that score right there, Eastside Herald. I know it's only preseason, but we whipped your ass. We whipped your ass. Watch Jalen Jelks on the step in. See that quick step in? Makes another play right here. And I'm going to let it play because Donovan Wilson gets an interception on the next play against your bum-ass quarterback, Webb third. He played receiver, quarterback, running back. He done played everything. I'm going to just let it play because I want to see Donovan Wilson get that interception for your bum-ass Texans. I don't give a hell if it's preseason. We still whooped your ass. Okay? You understand that? We still whooped your ass. So just watch this Eastside Herald. I just want to play this so we can just watch y'all whoop your ass, and we can watch this interception by Donovan Wilson too. Let's just watch this interception. Yak it. Go ahead and get this interception. Yak it. Go ahead and get this interception, Donovan. I just want to watch this because we're going to talk about Donovan next on the defensive side. But watch this. Yak it. Yak it. That's what he do. Yak it. We'll watch it again. I'm going to watch it. Show it again. Let's just show it again. I know in the real game. I got you. But I'm just showing this because it's fun. And you're in the feed. So it's just kind of cool to do that. You know what I mean? Y'all still ain't did nothing. Just to let you know. I don't know, Stevie Mack. We'll see. I don't know if they're going to use him as a Tyson Hill type of thing. We'll see about that, but I don't know. But here I want to show you something else about Jalen Jelks I like right quick, and then we're going to talk about some Cowboys news because it been some things in the air. I know y'all seen that Grant Delpit tape I showed the other day. I mean, just earlier today. But I want to show this Jalen Jelks. Just him playing, and I'm just going to play it while we talk. So you just watch it while we talk. Watch Jalen Jelks. He's going to be highlighted the whole time. Just watch him. He's going to be rush in. He's going to be outside. He's going to slide in playing the 1 and 3. But watch him. He makes a couple plays, and we're going to talk about some other things while I show that too. This is his game against Stanford. Yeah, Donovan should have got some more playing time, but every time, like I said, watch to hear, you're going to see the little pink arrow over Jalen Jelks every play. And this is a pretty good game against Stanford, and it had Bryce Love, good running back. So it was a good highlight where you could see him standing up. I think that's the biggest thing I took from this, how they had him standing up to help him transition to the NFL. And I think there's some plays that got away from him. I think one play he sat on the outside, waited for Bryce Love. Bryce Love did a little shake move, got him to the outside. But you know what? You have a new staff. I think those things could be corrected. The biggest thing here is that he's standing up and he could be versatile and he's not pigeonholed and playing defensive end because they're probably going to draft another defensive end in this draft. They may get Chasen early in that first round. If they get him, it's going to be a logjam. So linebacker is going to be critical for him to be able to play in the NFL. And like I said, now if he's playing a strong side linebacker, you're going to have to be able to cover too. And the biggest problem with that is you got to have speed. So I hope the biggest thing that Jalen Jelks had worked on this season is his speed. That's the biggest thing that I hope that he has worked on this year, his speed. Because if he can get his speed together, now he's even a more dangerous asset to the Cowboys. 4-9, we've seen guys run bad combines. Now, I don't know if this is juice, but Cam Dantzler from Mississippi State just ran his. I don't know if it's juice, but he ran a 4.6. What? Turn my mic up? Okay. Can you hear me now? All right. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. So what I was saying was Cam Dantzler had his 40 time, his pro day today. He ran a 4.6 at the combine, but then came in and ran a 4.3 on his pro day. I know they could be juicing it, whatever, but there's plenty of times where guys have run one time here and they've not run a better time on a pro day or a better day. So that's the biggest thing that you want to hope Jalen Jelks can get together, his time, his speed. If he can get that time and speed together because he's plenty athletic, he has been. That's one of the characteristics that he's had. He has a good – he has, like, just right that play, coming off the edge. He has he doesn't have a lot of good pass rush moves, but he has a high motor. He's plenty athletic. Come on, he has a good quick first step. I think he has good bend, and you can see I think he can drop in coverage for you. And I think if they're going to transition to that 3-4, Jalen Smith is a guy that can play in that position for you. And he has the length, and when you have those linebackers that size, those are the type of guys that you like in a 3-4 scheme, a 6'5", 250 pounds. That is linebacker type size. I mean, look at LVE. He's 6'4", 6'5", 245, 250 pounds. That's what a Jalen Jelks is. So you'll want to see him doing that. I think a pitcher, Vosh Lombardi, broke a video down of Jalen Jelks, and he said one of the things that he didn't like about Jelks is when he would come off the edge, he would fight with the the offensive lineman, and not going to the play and making the play. And I think a few plays, you see it right here. But one of the things when you're watching him every time that he's very active, he can diagnose some plays. I think if you get him some good coaching, he has something to offer the Cowboys. And we can't just throw away this 2019 draft. The Cowboys need these players because these are players that the Cowboys need to depend on because this is your future. A Chris Restry, a Jalen Jelks, a Joe Jackson, a Tristan Hill, a Connor McGovern. Those guys are paramount right now. If those guys can step up and add something to your team, a Donovan Wilson, this makes your draft in 2020 make it even better. So let's not throw away this 2019 draft because they take just like it takes a player like 3 years, it takes a draft 3 years. So you can't judge it after 1 year, and we're going to need these guys to step up, and you're really going to need a Jalen Jelks, to me, on the team because he can play multiple positions. You see on here, he's playing outside linebacker. He played a rush linebacker. He played a rush in. He played the one tech. You see him under the center. He played the 3. He's a very versatile defensive lineman and linebacker, and he has great size. The main thing that you want to get together with him is that speed. But I really like what he has to offer, and I think he's a diamond in the rough, as I said before, in a sneaky pick. And I'm glad the Cowboys got him. And please, let's develop this kid because I think he has something to offer. Okay, everybody said I'm sounding good? Cool. Okay. So, just watching this tape, what do you think about Jalen Jelks? Once again, what do you think about Jalen Jelks? Then we're going to talk about some more Cowboys news, and then we're going to jump out of here because me and Skywalker still going to do some draft breakdown. But give me one. If you had a grade right now about Jalen Jelks going forward on the team, what grade would you give a Jalen Jelks right now? What grade would you give me a Jalen Jelks right now? KG, you hilarious. If you're giving him a D, tell me why you're giving him a D. You don't even know why you're giving him a D. Tell me why you're giving him a D, KG. I want to hear your explanation of why you're giving him a D. I think you just like to go against shit. But go ahead and explain that for me right now. Go ahead and jump in the feed and explain that for me, please. No, he was a 7th rounder. And the main reason why he dropped was that 40 time. He had a 4.92. Plus, Oregon had him all over the place. They didn't have him in one set position. I don't think they even played him right at Oregon. But they played him where they had to play him. Tell me later. Okay. But I like Jelks going forward, and I think he has potential, and let's see what he can do in this new system, especially, like I said, if they're transitioning to a 3-4 defense, which possibly could happen because the positions changed. They had Randy Gregory at a defensive end. Now he's listed as an outside linebacker. That could be telling to me. They could be transitioning. I don't think it transitions this year. I think you see sets of it. Obviously, you got an Alden Smith. You see that they got Poe, who we haven't got a fat boy in years. You got a Gerald McCoy who you added in. And then now they brought in for their interviews, they had 2 linebackers in Zach Bond and Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma. And then they also have Marlon Davidson from Auburn, who's about 6'3", 315 pounds, and then Raekwon Davis, who's 6'7", 315 pounds. Also, they had Christian Fulton, who's a cornerback. So you see from the very beginning, they've also spoke with Justin Matabike, and also I believe the only offensive guy I believe they've talked to is Denzel Mims. I don't know if they had the virtual interview yet, but Denzel Mims, a receiver, 6'3", 207 pounds, who's like a Dez clone as far as the body type and physicality, but better speed, at least time speed as it shows. So we'll see about that, but it's been defensive heavy as far as the interviews have gone. Me and Skywalker are still going to break those down as far as the fits and how they go with the Cowboys, but you could see that it could be a transition to the 3-4 to that defense with the people they have brought in and the players that they have switched up. Like I said, Jalen Jelks is listed as a linebacker. Now Randy Gregory is listed as a linebacker. And if you look at their sizes in a 3-4 type defense, those are the perfect type sizes for a 3-4 linebacker. So we're going to see. So, I'm going to talk to you about something else. What do you think about Grand Delpit? I posted a video of Grand Delpit on my page. What do you think about Grand Delpit now? You know, they've been talking about chasing over there. Maybe C.J. Henderson possibly being a pick if he drops to 17. But now Grand Delpit, who I don't know if he ran at the Combine. I don't think he did run at the Combine. And Xavier McKinney did. I think Xavier McKinney ran like a 4.6 at the Combine. But now you get a Grant Delpit running a 4.39. Now, I know it was his pro day, and I know it was, wasn't people there, and we know all about that. But what are your thoughts about Grant Delpit now? Because they were talking about him dropping possibly past 17th because he was the big name that the Cowboys, everybody was linking to the Cowboys as a safety. Then the Cowboys went and got Ha-Ha Dix. You still had Xavier Woods in the fold. Donovan Wilson is a player that they have. Now you have a Grant Delpit at 17 with a 4.39, 6'2", 213 pounds. I think he put on a little weight because he was at 203. So I think he put on 10 pounds. Tackling can be addressed and can be taken care of just like hands. You can have some bad hands and you can get that rectified. What do you think about Grant Delpit now with the pretty good 4.39 speed at the safety position? Does it change your thoughts? Do you say, hey, oh, no, man, that 4.39, that kind of solidified me taking him? What do you think? I'm going to show a little bit of them highlights too right quick. His pro day. So what are y'all thoughts about Grant Delpit now with that 4.39 time at his COVID-19 pro day? What up, Ready Red? Let's pull up a little bit of his stuff because he looks smooth out there. I can't even front, man. When we were talking about safeties from the very beginning, I have never not been high on Delpit. I love his range. Between him and McKinney, I think they're both going to be good players in the NFL. I really do. I like Delpit a little better because I think that if you're starting a team, especially if you're starting a team on the back end as far as your safety position, I think you want to have a free safety over a strong safety because a strong safety is going to be more limited. That free safety can play strong and free, but he's going to be able to play with that range, and you want to be able to can be a playmaker. And he's a solid 6'2", 213 pounds, and I know Xavier McKinney has got some good size as well, and is a thumper. He will lay the blow on you, and he's a guy had some interceptions. Like I said, the tackling issue with Delpit, but he has really, really good range, and to me, I think and that's what has kept me with Delpit over McKinney, although I like both. I can't even front. I like both of those players, but I think to me that that range, I think he has more range than McKinney, and that's why I've stayed with Delpit over McKinney. But there's been so many. Hey ho, I am Sheepdog 45 with the 999. Holla, Delpit has potential playmaker, which we haven't had in the second in a very long time. And I think I agree with you, Sheepdog. That's the biggest thing with me. I believe McKinney's going to be a good player too, but I think that range that Delpit has is a little bit better than a McKinney, and he's a solid good size. I like that 6'2". I like our safeties to be bigger. I don't like them small 5'11" safeties. You can have a corner like that, a 5'11" corner. That's cool. I mean, honestly, on the outside, I like them being bigger now because you're dealing with these receivers that are 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", all world, and they're 220 pounds. You want your cornerbacks to be a little bit bigger now. So I would like to have a corner about 6 foot, an outside corner, but at least 6 foot. You put a slot corner, yeah, about a 5'10", 5'11". But I like my safeties big. Maybe your strong safety can be a little bit shorter because he can be stronger and put more of a thumper. So a 5'11", 6 foot could be okay for a strong safety. But a free safety, I like them taller, man. I like them like 6'1", 6'2". I like them to be able to have good range, height. But I don't know. I like the tall guys. I've always liked them. So we'll see about that. But Delpit has, to me, kind of raised the bar a little bit as far as where he's going to get drafted. A lot of people were saying he was falling, and some maybe pro scouts are like, you know what, we ain't looking at that pro day because that's not our times, whatever. But it's still, to me, something to look at on that. But like I said, David Jenkins, tackling can be addressed. You can get your tackling together just like the hands. But let's show a little bit of some Grant Delpit right here. He looks smooth how he was going, though. He looks smooth. He looks smooth in and out of his cuts. Good size. He's got some good size right there. And like I said, and he's had in his interviews where he said he's taking it personal about the tackling. Everybody's knocking him about his tackling. That's all he keeps hearing is tackling, how he's not a good tackler. He said he's been taking it personal, and he doesn't want to hear that anymore about him and his tackling. So maybe that's something that he's going to put in his head to get it together. So we'll see. A lot of LSU players are doing their thing this year in the NFL draft. I mean, like I said, you got Delpit on the Cowboys' radar, Christian Fulton, who the Cowboys have already interviewed, and then Chasen, who's a guy that Bobby Belt has already interviewed and has already been on the Cowboys roster. So you got 3 LSU guys that have already been on that roster, on the radar with the Cowboys. So, we're going to see. You got a DN, you got a corner, and a safety. I told y'all my feelings about Christian Fulton. I'm not high on him early. I don't want to take him on a 17th pick. But Chasen or Delpit, I would. But Fulton, no. I don't want him at no 17. Somebody he could flow with later. I would be cool with flowing with a Fulton later, but not early at no 17. I'd rather a different, bigger type corner. And he's not small, but I just feel like just not him early. And even then, I still like Gladney. And then Cam Dantzler, who had his 40 time go down, like we talked about earlier, he ran a 4.6, ran a 4.3 earlier, 6'2", 188 pounds. His size of 188 is scary, but he'll stick it in there and he can cover. So it's a lot of good corners out there. So we're going to see kind of what happens going forward. But that's just kind of my thoughts right quick. Yeah, Bryce Hall been talked about too. He's got some good size, about 6'1". He's definitely got the part as far as his size-wise goes with him. But that's kind of my thoughts today. I like Jalen Jelks. Like I said before, I really like him. He's been a guy that I've kept my eyes on from day one when they drafted him. When I watched him at camp, he was very active. When I watched him in the preseason games, 4 tackles in that Houston Texans game, 1 sack in the San Francisco game. I like what he has to offer. If he can get that speed together and get that speed down, I think he offers a lot of possibilities for the Cowboys. And like I said, him and Randy Gregory are both listed as outside linebackers. Maybe that's a key that the Cowboys may be transitioning to a 3-4 defense. If you see them bringing in any more linebackers, that's a key. Obviously, LVE has the bad neck, and we understand that. And that's, to me, I made a video 3 months ago and said that's still concerning. They were going to have to address the linebacker position anyway in the draft. And Sean Lee, even though he's 34 years old and, he played in 16 games for the first time in his career, he's still injury prone. He can have a pulled hamstring at the drop of a head. And you still have a Luke Gifford who's unproven and injuries. You got a Joe Thomas, but he's not a versatile guy as other positions like you got in Jelks and them guys. So that's why I think they're going to probably draft a linebacker for those precautions, and they may be starting to transition to a 3-4. Maybe it could have happened this year, but I think with that COVID-19 and with them not having possible OTAs starting at the right time and rookie camp and things of that nature, I think it'd just be hard to implement that. Even though a lot of the schemes are all the same, the verbiage is different. And when you're transitioning and bringing rookies in or new guys into a 3-4, I think it's harder to go when you have this thing going on. Rather, if you had something regular, like a regular camp, then I think it could have been easier. Because remember, when they had the interview with Mike McCarthy, he was non-committal. Committal? Is that the word? I don't know. Well, you know what the hell I'm talking about. He wasn't committing to 4-3 or 3-4. He just said that, we're going to be 4 down linemen, but you're going to see a variety of defenses. So I think the arrow's pointing up with Jalen Jelks. I'm interested to see where they're going to put him and where he's going to flow and what he can offer to the team, because he's definitely going to get a chance, because this is going to be like his rookie season, in my opinion. Jordan Daniel, would I be mad if we draft a linebacker early or concerned? I don't want to draft a linebacker in the first round. If you draft a linebacker in the first round, to me, that tells me that you are transitioning at 3-4 like right now, or you don't feel secure about LVE's neck. That's what it says to me. So I do think they are going to get a linebacker. I was saying get a linebacker around the 4th round, possibly, but it looks like they may take him earlier than that. So we'll see about that. I'd just rather not get a linebacker that early. If you do, then I feel those two things are standing out of my eyes. You're concerned about LV's neck, or you think you're transitioning to a 3-4 right now. Yeah, I agree, Quest Cowboys. I'm worried. See, here's my problem with this COVID-19. Those rookie need rookie OTAs. Those rookie needs rookie camp. Players need these camps. And we've seen when you have a strike season, or, in the NBA or in just other major leagues, you've seen injuries. That's the biggest thing. And I think if you don't have those camps starting on time and things going on the way they should, injuries are happening. And not just being behind the 8 ball as far as learning the verbiage and the knowledge of going into the NFL as far as new players, but injuries are a concern with me for things starting later in the NFL season. Yeah, I agree. Secondary, losing Byron Jones is huge, and they have linebackers right now, so I agree with you, KMT 72. I agree with you on that tip, that I wouldn't go after a linebacker early, because secondary is you have a Maurice Kennedy who's still a little unproven, Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, Cheeto. They're not bums by any means, but they're not a scary secondary, and you definitely will want to upgrade that. So I think that you definitely want to go after a cornerbacker or earlier than a linebacker right now. Yeah, Dan Orlovsky, I don't know. He's the ultimate Eagles hype man. They're talking about bringing him on their staff. I think they should. Donation, donation, donation. That's the Tourette's, babe. That's the Tourette's. Remember, that's just the Tourette's. Don't trip on that. Don't trip on that. Yeah, Dan Lawrence, he's the ultimate cheerleader. I think the Eagles want to try to get him on their staff. They should, because he sweats and sucks on Carson Wentz like no other. That dude sucks on him. So, hey, more power to you, dog. You can hate on Dak all you want to, but when you look at the records, when you see the numbers, even when you see them battle against each other, Dak has the better record. The stats are almost damn near identical. So I used to think Carson Wentz had the advantage when they first came in, but when I watched Dak I don't think Carson Wentz is better than Dak Prescott. Yeah, Ready Red. Yeah, I feel you, Stevie Mac 23. Cowboys are a lightning rod. Anytime you say anything about the Cowboys, people are going to turn it on. And just like Michael Irvin said, I think it was like a couple of years ago, he said you can love them or hate them, but you will always tune in and turn in to the Cowboys. That's why they're America's team. That's what it is. People can hate it all they want to. People can try to change the name all they want to. You can try to say the New England Patriots are the new America's team. You can try to say this team who's won 10, 4 or 5 Super Bowls, they're the new America's team. No team is ever going to get the title. So just shut the F up. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Just shut the F up. You're not getting the title of America's team. No team is. No matter how you talk about it on Sports Illustrated, ESPN, Sporting News, you're never going to get it. What was that song with Invo? You're never going to get it. You're never going to get it. You're never going to get it. That's what they said in Vogue. They said you're never going to get it. That's what I'm trying to tell you damn teams out there and you hating ass squads. You're never going to get it. Dallas is always going to be America's team. And anytime there's news, nobody's turned on the news to listen to the Houston Texans. I'm sorry, Eastside Herald. And the only time we'll ever listen to some news about some Houston Texans if it's got to be some outrageous news. You feel me? But you can talk in something about Dallas, and everybody going to chime in. Is that right? Now, you can hate on that if you want to, Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars. You know what I'm saying? Even you Patriots. Y'all hate. Well, we're the damn Dallas Cowboys. I played my songs. Oh, and before I get off here, damn, good plug. Good plug. I forgot about that. Good plug. Now, if y'all heard my opening song, my son, how about them Cowboys? Click like Cowboys. Go check that out. For real, for real. My son just dropped his album out, his first album out. He's been rapping for a good little bit, and it's called White Nigga. Now, you'll hear the title, and I'm going to say the title again. It's White Nigga, just how it sounds. My son is light-skinned, so he has dealt with both sides, okay, and he's dealt with both sides. But this is the title is White Nigga, Black Cracker. And it's if you really got to go listen to this album, it's just dropped. My son's name is Kid Columbus, K-I, 2 D's, capital D's, Columbus. First of all, my son is not one of these hibbity hop dudes. He's a young kid kid out there. He's not one of these hibbity hop guys that just saying this dumb stuff out there. This is real thoughtful, and that's why he has this title, because he's making America think. Okay, he's making America think by that title. So don't just look at the title like, oh man, what is this? Listen to the music, because my son has a lot to say, and that's why he made that title, because he wants America to think about the labels that we put on people out there and the stereotypes that we put there on people. And that's why he came with that title, because he wants you to think and he wants you to listen, and he brings a lot of social consciousness in his realms. Now, he got some partying bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. My son got some wild stuff, but he got everything. Please go check him out. Kid Columbus, K-I, 2 capital D's, Columbus. New album out called White Nigga. I think you're gonna like it. Don't trip off about the title. Like, what the hell is that? Don't trip about the title. It's just, you know what? It's a lot of consciousness. White Nigga, Black Cracker. I love that title. It just already makes you think. Okay, yeah. The stereotypes. No, it ain't. I don't know if it's boom bap. It's conscious. I would say it's conscious. It's partying. It's got everything. I'm gonna just tell you right now. It's got everything. Anything that you like. He's got stuff for the kids. He got a nice little song that he actually had on the record on out here on the radio station called The Twist, and that's for everybody. And he has that for everybody. He's got that partying bullshit. He got that, hey, if you want to go ride and kicking. And he's got consciousness. He's got everything you want to hear because that's what he's been through in his life. We've been there. You feel me? Been there. We've been there. So he's just talking about his life and what we've been through, what he's seen. What platform? Oh, go check him out on Spotify, iTunes, Spotify is what he's really banging at. He's really pushing out Spotify and Anchor. Those 3 platforms are where you can find him at. So please go check him out. Yes, you did. They had him and David had a long talk on Facebook, and it was awesome. I actually read that. So I appreciate you, David, because David's a DJ. So they had a great talk back and forth. So please just go check my son out. I ain't pushing you. If my son was a bum or couldn't rap, trust me, believe, I would not promote my son if he was a scrub. I don't do that. Okay? If you suck and you're not that good, whether you're my family or not, I'll give you a promotion like, hey, go check him out. But I'm not going to give you this much airplay like I gave my son if you're not any good. I'm just letting you know. So that's just real talk. Hell yeah, he's a Cowboys fan. What the hell? What? The hell? Anybody in my house is Cowboys. You don't have a choice, okay? Just like when I grew up, I didn't have a choice. There's no choice in my family about Cowboys. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Quest. I mean, if you ask Boothang, I'll call everybody one. I call everybody a nigga. So there's no discriminating with me. I've had people look at me, white people, Chinese people, look at me weird when I call them a nigga. Like I just sorry. I call everybody one. So I don't discriminate. So I don't want to get political because I don't want people tripping on here right quick, but I call y'all. That's just what it is. So it's no big deal to me. But definitely check it out. Appreciate the time. Once again, Jalen Jelks, he's got an arrow pointing up, and I like to see what he can add to the table. And we're going to talk about me and Skywalker still. Make sure you tune in to our show tomorrow. Me and Skywalker still be talking about the draft visits or the draft interviews that the Cowboys have with Marlon Davidson, Justin Metabike, Denzel Mims, Zach Bond, Jalen Hurts, Kristen Fulton. We're going to talk about them in the fits. We've already talked about 3 of the players, but now they've had more, and they may have more after that. But we're going to talk about the fits and what that means with the Cowboys. So make sure you tune in for that. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Appreciate for the donations. Appreciate for the love. Appreciate all y'all. Just love everybody. Another good day, another good feed, and I just want y'all to make sure y'all stay safe out there. Continue to be careful out there. Hopefully this breaks soon. I am worried about the NFL season, but listening to Adam Schefter, he did say that they are kind of gung-ho on having a college football season, so that gives me hope because college football is going to be before NFL football. So if they're pushing it, that they're still going to push college football, that's giving me hope for NFL football will still go on. So we'll see how it goes, but appreciate everybody for the love. Like, share, donate, all that good stuff. Look at the Cash App right there. You ain't got to always hit up the Super Chat. Look at that Cash App right there. That $ Big Game James 72. You can donate anytime on that as well. Don't be ashamed and don't be scared. We got to keep this thing on. Keeps these lights running. Keeps all this thing going. It's going to make it popping for when we get to training camp in California. Going to make it popping when we go to these games and these fat-ass interviews I'm going to be getting for y'all. You feel me? I'm trying to get that more coverage. So that's the reason why I push these donations to keep this thing going because the more y'all donate, the better it gets. Hey, boo thing. We went down to the Combine, right? Y'all donations got us there. Right, boo thing? It was y'all. And guess what? I went out there and tried to get that best coverage, and now we're trying to get even better interviews and we're trying to do higher heights. So don't think the donations that y'all do are just going for empty. It's going to bigger and better things so I can get bigger and better things for you guys so we can have the best coverage that we have for Dallas Cowboys football out here for Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game James. So talk to y'all. Love y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease. Go check out my son, Kid Columbus. Peace.